Good day and welcome to another edition of Outside of Genie, where we will be looking at the race meeting on the Vaal Classic Turf today, the 28th of January. I'm actually looking forward to the card. I think it's a very nice card, and I think maybe there is a bit of money to be made. Hopefully, not a slaughterhouse as the case was on Tuesday. Quickly want to touch on yesterday at Gravel Poly, where Outside of Genie was in form again. And I gave you some nice bets yesterday. I'm not going to go through all of them, but the two that stands out for me is in race 7. I gave you King's Road as an each way bet that came home. The time it was 6-1. It jumped at 11-2 available on Interbet, so you could have made a bit of money there. And then also my best bet of the day, race 4, number 12, Shastina, 53-10, 3-1 was available at the jump, and you could have made money with those two bets. So let us look today at Vaal Classic, and we kick off on the first race, which is a maiden plate over 1450 at 1240. The betting is as follows. Oops. Race 1, number 4, Ricardo 14-10, Dina Glow 19-10, Curfew 11-2, 13-2, Global Town 18-1, Officer 18-1, Barometer 35-1 and longer, and the rest. Well, this is not a very strong field, maiden field, and my selection here, just for interest sake, I'm seeing here is a horse trained by James Marie. My goodness, I haven't seen a horse from him for a very, very long time. I remember he used to train a lot for this Mr. Beanie. So, yeah, I hope he's well. Mr. James Maria, he's had his moments. I remember he trained a horse, I can't remember the name, the one day. The horse won, I don't know how it worked, but there was two meetings in 2 days, and the horse won, and one day, and then he ran again the next day, and he won again. I can't remember the name, but yeah. So here, my first selection is number 4, Ricardo. I've been following Ricardo for a while now, and last time out he ran a nice race behind Dawn of a New Area, which was my outright selection in the race, and Ricardo was my outsider selection. So he duly finished second. But also, I've got a feeling that number 5, Dina Angelo, is also going to be involved in the finish. And there's also a horse that I actually choose last time out as my outright winner. So I think the race between these two is probably on. Outsider selections is number 3, Curfew, who did run a third, but then last time ran dismal behind Reunion. But Reunion won by about 7 or 8 lengths, but still not a very good run. But the field is such a nature that Curfew in this field can probably run a place. And then my other outsider selections, number 6, Global Town, who's been there and thereabouts. And yeah, as I said, in this field, probably can also get a chance to be involved in the finish. That finish 4 lengths behind Malmoose, which we all know it's a good horse. So yeah, definitely a small chance. Also popping number 7, Barometer, nice speed stable for the back in the quartet and trifectas. This horse also improved behind Dawn of a View and can probably improve a little bit more. So then we move on to race number 2, which I'm very excited about. I'll tell you now why I'm excited about this race. It's a maiden plate for fillies and mares over 1450. Here the betting is as follows. Number 13, Pecan Pie, 28-10. Miss Venezuela, 3-1. Dancing Arabian, 7-2. A Flying Fire, 15-2. As Good as it gets, 15-2. Rose Willow, 8-1. 18-1. Ginseng and Amberglow Star, 22-1, and longer the rest. Well, here in this race, my first selection is number 11. Now, if you have a look here, you'll see this horse has had 2 runs. And on the face of it, it looks like, they're not really got a chance, because first of all, this horse debuted in a juvenile, 7 lengths behind War of Athena, and then ran 7.2 lengths behind Sent by Destiny. Unfortunately, he's drawn 15, but I'm sure Ryan Manga can make a plan from there. So I want to show you quickly something here. Now, this was as good of his gets first run. He ran 7 lengths behind. Look here. War of Athena. We all know what War of Athena did. Due Diligence won a future. Sent by Destiny won a grade 1. Dubai Princess also won last time out. Afternoon Tea also was that runs there and thereabouts. The next even actually won a race, and then as good as it gets, ran 7 lengths behind 7th place. And even up behind him, Legal Star and Greens they were winners. They were all winners. That was in a juvenile plate, so he was running against winners first time out. Then second time out, the second race also run against in a maiden juvenile plate. Look who was the winner, Sent by Destiny. Bold Fortune. Bold Fortune, Twice the Act has also won after that. Space Market has won 2 races, if you remember that, won last week again. And Gimme Annie won. And then Liverpool Legend, if you go further down here, you'll see that Liverpool Legend has won 2 races since this race. And then here we have a Soto, again, just 7 lengths behind. Look who finished behind him. Where's the gold? And then Queen Bomi. Now, I want to talk about Queen Bomi because Queen Bomi is my best bet of the day. It was yesterday was still 4-1, now 5-2. So yes, Queen Bomi. Now, if you have a look at Queen Bomi's last 2 runs, ran in strong fields. Lily Blue, Rouge Allure, look at that, just kidding, ran close on Saturday. Shivers is not a bad horse. And then we have Queen Bomi, Tahito Rania, also a good horse, and Keep Smiling can also run on that time. So Queen Bomi finished in both of them. Last time out, also in another strong race, Queen Bomi finished behind Mary Gold, was doing was on a hat trick in Queen Bomi's finished second, beating a horse like Kailash Champ, who's also running today, which I also fancy. Saduni ran second last time out. Yet again, we have Keep Smiling and Cockney Pride, who's not donkeys. I don't know what happened with Cockney Pride in this race, but it's also a grade 1 winner. So Queen Bomi, my best bet for the day. We'll come to them. We will discuss that when we get to the 4th race. Now, just for interest sake, on Interbet, as good as it gets, it's currently 8-1. I already put down my $20. And I think you should take if you want to play this horse, play it now. You're not going to get to 8-1 at a jump. I can assure you a lot of people is going to wake up to the fact that as good as it gets, has run against some opposition. And sometimes the Joe Summer stable, they can put down the money. So maybe if you want to play this horse, it is maybe a good day to, take an early bet. Outsider selections is number 3, Clove Girl. There's one of the things that I believe in. When a stable gets in form, follow the stable. Now this horse hasn't run since July. It's coming off a rest, but it had a nice second run behind Sultana, and then they put it over 2,000 meters and it faded behind Council Queen. Council Queen has won again since, so that's a nice horse to put in for your quartet and trifectas, getting the -1.5. And then my other outsider selection is number 8, Rose Willow. Also, horse that I've been following, ran third behind Legal Star. That day I did fancy it, but Legal Star won by far. And then I don't know what happened in that race. And then last time out, behind, so they say, ran the improved race, but also a horse that you can put into your play. And then they've got this horse, his favorite. Now, for the love of me, I can't understand this. This horse finished 20 lengths behind its favorite. It just doesn't make sense. It has run a few decent races around on to try and make a penny, but those horses ain't world beaters. You can see the 11 runs and 12 runs, no winners. Look at that. And now this horse comes out and behind Bold Jazz. Bold Jazz himself is a good horse. Has won 2 nice races as well, 2 or 3 races. But surely I don't think this is going to be a world beater. And then you got the favorite here, another favorite, Pecan Pie, has one race behind Mode. Now, Mode, I can assure you also, has had got a bit of, he's also not the best horse around. Never went on over the 1400 meters. So I really do think that this horse, as good as it gets in this field today, is going to be a huge runner. I mean, and even at 8 to 1, you can take each way. But if I just look at that War of Athena and Sin by Destiny, really, that is for me a nice pointer. As I said, I think the only thing that can sing this horse is the draw from draw 15. So I won't put on the house, but I'm willing to invest a few rand. Then we move to race number 3, which is a graduation plate over 1600 meters. World Sports Betting is as follows. Number 2, Herodotus, 5 to 2. Flying Carpet, 5 to 2. Castellano, 7 to 2. 11 to 2 against the grain. Woolsworth, 6 to 1. Invincible, 14 to 1. Walter the Penniless, 40 to 1. So here we have, and I'm going for number 2. Herodotus is a horse that has been running in Cape Town and now with the Van Vieren stable. But this horse has been running constantly against the best horses in the country. I mean, a second behind Bulgarian, 16th behind Bulgarian. Sovereign Spirit is running in a Met on Saturday. Good as Pride is no slouch. Black Nap is not a donkey. Sing Out Loud also running in the future. Nexus also running in the future. So surely I think number 2, Herodotus, must have the beating of this field. Well, outside of selections, I'm going for number 7, Wolves World. This horse ran a nice range behind Bahama Breach, which has come out to 1 again yesterday on Tuesday. So I think Wolves World definitely worth including into your quartets. But there are horses of chances. Flying Carpet won by 3.2, but last time out ran against a small future behind Catch 22. Castellano also won well, and then ran a little bit of a, I don't think, a good race behind Destiny's Game. Maybe the jockey took him to the front too early. I'm not sure. Against the Graydon, there's also a horse that can surprise now and then. Invincible, also a horse that has not got, doesn't run 2 races, good races in a row. So I think number 2, Road to Doubt, is a very good uh, choice in this field. Then we move on to race number 4, which is a Fillies and Mares handicap, 84 over 1800 meters. Let's have a look at the beating. Now, here the betting is Queen Boma 22 to 10, but I can tell you yesterday this horse was 4 to 1, so there was definitely money for it. Biop 7 to 2, Curvation 4 to 1, Lady Amos 6 to 1, Franklin 7 to 1, Bold Future 10 to 1, Fort Anne 16 to 1, Dauphine de Moria 16 to 1, Netta 16 to 1, Sparkling Gold 70 to 1. So let's have a look here. My first choice is Queen Bomi, number 9, and as I've pointed to you in these last 2 races, this was really run. I mean, we're running here in a CC 76. This was ran in an A division 97, 93, although from a lower weight, but still 82, 74, 85. The last time she ran in that was in a maiden, when she won a maiden, and then constantly she's been running well against some good horses. Kayla's Promise, Bold Jazz, Lily Blue, Marigold, and I think might be too strong for this field. My outsider selections is number 1, Franklin. Yeah, I think Franklin can be involved in a finish here. It's also a horse that runs constantly well, and I do feel that Franklin can also be involved in a finish in this race. My other outsider selection is number 7, which is here pops up Bold Fortune. And remember, Bold Fortune, we also saw in that form line as good as it gets, second by Sent by Destiny, and then it won its next race by 3.5 lengths. Wow! And then after that, not so good. But then watch out for this 5 Bold Fortune. Number 7, Dauphine de Maria. Again, a horse only coming from second run out of a maiden. That run on the 16th of January. Also the Beep Stable. Yeah, this horse has got the ability to be involved in a finish, so keep an eye out for this one. B Poppers, I think, is also a huge runner that ran behind Franklin. A small weight turnaround, but I'm not sure if the weight turnaround is big enough to finish in front of Franklin. But surely must have a chance. Bebop. So let's move on to race number 5. Race number 5 is a Pinnacle Stakes over 2,400 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. Here we have African Adventure 2-1, Imperial Ruby 5-1, Glider Point 5-1, Bahrain 11-2, Heroes Honor 11-2, Cheatingo 7-1, 14-1, Devon Odyssey, and 20-1 out of your league. Now in the Pinnacle, you normally go by the best weighted, which is number 1, 8, 2, 4, and 3. But yeah, I see the favorite is African Adventure. And surely African Adventure must have a huge chance in this field. It is a horse that's improving. You might even consider taking a double with as good as you get with African Adventure. But African Adventure, I do give it a good chance. But my selection in this race is a horse called Out of Your League. Now, Out of Your League, if you remember, won the SA Oaks. Also from the Beep Stables, getting -1.5. And yeah, was off for a time and then come back over 1800 meters, which I deemed too short for this horse. And I think this horse is going to have a much better run today over over this course and distance. Has run 2 runs, 1 win and a second, and did ran second to Gold Griffin on this course and distance. And I've done this card number 2 out of your league, and I can tell you now, 22-1 will not be available um, at the jump. I'm just wondering what the price is currently at Interbet. Let's quickly have a look at Interbet. 25-1 you can get on Interbet. That's not a bad price, because I can tell you now that won't be available. Let me put on my 10 rand while I'm here. I like this horse. There goes my 10 rand. Guys, I only play small. I have these days. I only play 10 or 20 rand. I used to be a big punter. I used to lose 50, 40 to 1,000 rand on a weekend. At one stage, I was one of the top 10 punters in South Africa, and the TAB actually took me to Dubai because of that. But I'm not in that league anymore. I enjoy putting my 10, 20 rand down, and that's what I go for. Keeps me busy, keeps me interested. So out of your league, 22-1, I think is gonna. You can even play it each way. You can still make a bit of money. But as I say, I think number 6 African Adventure, the horse to beat. But I do fancy number 3 out of your league, and then also. My other outsider selections is number 4 and 5, Heroes Honor and Imperial Ruby. Both horses has got horses of ability. I've been waiting for a long time for Heroes Honor's divine form, because he's also ex-Derby winner. I don't know if you know that, but yeah, but his form is sometimes so up and down. But I think if the real Heroes Honor showed up here, like on the 1st of February, really won over 1,800 meters. This horse can run, so put him to the back end of your quartets. Imperial Ruby, his second last start, he runs such a dismal race. It's difficult to see him beating African Adventure, turning it around. And African Adventure also did beat him behind the race, behind Dance Class. But surely you want to include it in your quartets and selections. So then move on to race number 6, which is the mid-rated handicap, 1450. Let's have a look at the betting race 6. So as I said to you today is very interesting. I'm looking forward to the card. I can't wait. Here we have number 7, Vars Vicky, 9-10. Your Pace on Mine, 3-1. Kyla Stamp, 6-1. 9-1. Inkoots, Rock the Globe, 11-1. Nordic Rebel, 14-1. Russian Press 40. Scratch number 1, Rabona Boulevard. So here in race 6, my selection is the favorite, number 7, Vars Vicky. I can see Vars Vicky, I think, is going to run a huge race of this for 54 on his back. Ran second to behind Paisley Park. And Paisley Park was winning in the second race in a row. And before that, has run against Winter Stories, Bowie. And yeah, I think useful opposition. And finished last time 22.9. running on at the end, and I think Vaz Vicky maybe will be hard to beat in this race. Outside the selections I'm looking for is number 2, Kailash Champ. Kailash Champ form, as we did see, it came up here behind earlier, War of Athena, Marigold. But I do feel that Kailash Champ is also a type of filly that can be involved in the finish. Has been running against very good opposition. Here you've got Marigold, War of Athena. So Kailash Champ definitely not without a prayer. And then number 5 is Rock the Globe. Rock the Globe is also one of those horses that, if he decides to run, he can win this easily, minus 2.5. But it's already 336 days since his last win. But he has been running in some decent opposition, and maybe if the minus 2.5 could work in his favor and bring him into the picture. And then number 8, Your Pace or Mine, Kumalo for Michael de Kock. We don't see that very often, but he ran third behind Paisley Park on the same day as Vaz Vicky, and the weight is he had 2 kilograms less, and he's only getting a half kilogram from Vaz Vicky. So let me just see what the reason for that. That's strange because there was a 2 kilograms difference. Now only a half kilogram, but I thought maybe the merit rating went up, but it was a 95, still a 95, and 84 and still a 84. So oh, that's a bit. Oh, you know where the difference might come in. Oh, okay, I understand now. There's every the weight for age scale changes. So there might be a change in the weight for age scale. That's only why there's maybe only a half kilogram in it now. I'm not sure. But based on that, Vaz Vicky should finish in front of Your Pace or Mine. But I would include both of them in my pick 6 when you do your pick 6. So here we got race 7, over 1,000 meters, a fresh mare handicap, a fresh mare 100 handicap over 1,000 meters. So let's have a look at the betting here. Here we have Salon Queen, 9-2, a very open race. Shabela 5-1, Winterwest 5-1, Sheer Talent 11-2, Sweet Sensation 13-2, Fly Away 15-2, Rapid Fire 8-1, All of Me 14, Ula 15, and Before the Door 22-1. So this is a very open race, but sometimes I do think that when you got these open races, for some strange reason, the favorite wins the race. So my selection is number 7, Shalom Queen. Slalom Queen, has been running well against some useful opposition. That beat Sweet Sensation. Sweet Sensation then came out and won again. Sing for Rafa is not a donkey. And I think Slalom Queen might be a huge runner. Ran 0.1 behind Mount Pleasant, which is not a bad run. Then ran second behind Veneverci. It's also, all of that very good runs. So I'm expecting number 7, Slalom Queen, to put up a huge performance here in race 7. My outsider selections is number 1, Fly Away, coming off a 351, nearly a year, but has won some nice races already, 6 runs, 3 wins. I'm not sure about the level of fitness from Fly Away, but I'm sure Paul Peter is a professional, and he will not send the horse to the course if it's not ready to run. Then my outsider selection is number 6, Sweet number 6 is Sheer Talent. And this horse over 1,000 meters, I think, has got a good record on this course, 3 runs, 1 win and a second. I do feel that the 14 and his last 2 runs, I think, might have been too far for him. But won some nice races earlier, and I think number 6, Sheer Talent, not to be discarded. But also watch out for number 8, Sweet Sensation. This is really a good horse. I don't know what happened last time we were on Zimba and Impressive Duchess, but I remember that day it beat Anna Capri that day. My best bet of the day was Sweet Sensation, 5th of December. The horse was 7-2. It had drifted to 10-1, so I gave you a 10-1 shot as best bet of the day. But I'm not sure what happened with the horse after that. But as you can see, ran close to Shalom Queen before. So definitely I would think Sweet Sensational horse that you must include. Another horse that worries me, which I haven't got in my betting, but it's All of Me. This horse, if he decides to run today, Can also motor a bit, but maybe not today. I'm not sure. Then we go down to race number 8, which is the last race on the card, which is another fillies and mares handicap 84, also over 1,000 meters. And let's have a look at the betting. Here we have Sweet Future 18 to 10, Varina 3 to 1, Mind Reader 72, Samoa 14, Showdown Kid 14, Impressive Duchess 16, Rainbow Ace 12, 22, Madame Patrice 22, Too Fat to Fly, and scratch number 8. So here my selection is number 3. Guys, first of all, I do think Sweet Satura is a good horse. Sweet Future might have a Sweet Future as well, but I'm fancying this number 3, Impressive Duchess. This horse is a very good horse. Has run against some useful imposition. Is running here in the C78, but has run against horses in there. Won a B90, beating Spring Break. Spring Break came out the other day and won on his Coconut. And here we have where she ran against Sweet Future, carrying 56.5. So there was only a half a kilogram in it. And Sweet Future now carrying, just check quickly, 60. So they're still close on weights. Number 3, on that weight and around, might not be able to beat Sweet Future because she was getting a half a kilogram, and now I'm getting another half a kilogram. So, but I've seen strange things happen in racing. So don't discard this horse. Definitely in with a chance. Number 3, Impressive Duchess. Outsider selections, number 6, Rainbow Ace, also a horse that I like, has been running well. Also against, you see here, Gladiation paid 90 behind Gaily Princess. Gaily Princess, a very good horse. I think won 4 races in a row. All of Me, 89. And then last time out in 86 behind Before the Dawn. So it's Rainbow Ace, definitely a horse that you can't leave out. And my other outsider selection is number 7, Madame Patrice. The thing is with Madame Patrice, if Madame Patrice decides she wants to run today, she'll be hard to beat. But I can't see her actually win this race, but I would think that there's a nice inclusion for quartet and trifecta purposes. Number 7, Madame Patrice. So all in all, I think a nice card for today. I hope I could point you in the direction of a few winners and that you can make good money. And as I always say, break a leg.